Alright, what's going on guys? DJ here, aka HARDPORK. So for today's vlog or for today's video, I sort of swayed away from our usual style, which is vlogging. Right now, I'm gonna talk about how to make 10k or 10,000 steps more easier to complete. When I first started, as usually a newbie do or newbie encounters this problem, I struggled to complete 10k steps, or I always like hated when thinking about completing it. But with these two things that I discovered or I did, I ended up making it just a little bit easier for me, or just a bit more convenient and not really as much stressful as I did when I first started doing 10k steps every single day. Because for most people or for most casual people who are not really used to like moving around or walking, 10k steps is really hard to come by, or also really hard to complete. And by the way, I'm recording this video on November 29 at 12:02 a.m. So the reason why I got the idea for this video is when I was walking around at night as of today, I was thinking that what are the things that made it much more easier or made it less stressful for me to complete my 10,000 steps. So for the first tip that I am going to tell you guys is divide your steps throughout the day. I'm reading it on my notes over here. So dividing your steps throughout the day is helpful when you're just a beginner, because for the first time you're doing 10k steps, your feet or your legs might not be used to it yet. So dividing your steps all throughout the day makes it less stressful to your legs, or your legs doesn't really get tired, or you don't feel like it's somewhat sore. Because when I first started, I used to like do the 10k steps in just one sitting, or I would challenge myself to complete it in just like me walking around the whole morning, which is also somewhat counterproductive because you consumed all your morning time just walking around and completing only one task, when in actuality you can complete many tasks as you go on by the day. So when you wake up, you could just walk for about maybe 15 minutes or even 10 minutes, or even if you don't time yourself, you could just do like a step goal for that specific time. Like if it reaches like 10 a.m., you need to be already on 2,500 steps. So when you reach 2,500 steps and it's not even 10:30 or 10 in the exact time that you set the goal, then you could relax and give yourself a break. And for me right now, what I usually do for dividing my time is that I usually set a timer for about 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and I walk around the place or our place for that amount of time. And afterwards, I do the things that I need to do. And then when I feel relaxed or I have relaxed for a certain amount of time, then I'll go back outside and walk around. So for example, when right now I usually wake up at 11. So when I first wake up, I weigh myself, and then afterwards I would usually time myself for about 30 minutes and just start walking outside. And after 30 minutes, I go inside, and preferably I got my meals outside the fridge already, so that when the 30 minutes is up, after that, I can cook my food afterwards. So for me, I did multiple things at once. So I have completed my 30 minutes, and then I have got my food out of the fridge, or I defrosted my food already. And also when I first started, I actually underestimated how many steps you can do in like 30 minutes. But 30 minutes of like just straight walking is really, or it can add maybe like 2,500 to maybe 3,000 steps on your step counter. That's just my step counter, by the way. I'm basing this all on my experience for like completing 10,000 steps, because I've been completing 10,000 steps since like maybe August. And then I have just been walking around here on our place. So for the second tip that I can give you guys on completing 10,000 steps is that use your phone or distract yourself while you're walking. I got this tip, or I got this idea from Samsulek, and a little bit of like maybe just a common sense. Because just like Samsulek said, you have something that is designed to distract you, or you have something that is designed to make you pay your attention to it. So use it while you're doing your cardio. So in terms of my cardio, I see me walking as cardio, so I distract myself by using my phone, which in the long term really helped me out. Because when you're walking around and you don't really have anyone with you, or you don't really walk outside, like maybe in a park or maybe in a public place, then you don't really have anything that can distract you from focusing on the 10,000 steps. Because as much as possible, you do not want to think about the 10,000 steps or completing the 10,000 steps. You just want to go with it or go with the flow. And hopefully, at the end of the day, you can complete your 10,000 steps. So, what I usually do is like I scroll on TikTok. I don't do what Samsolik does, like playing while doing cardio. In my case, I only watch videos. I scroll around and just keep on walking as I'm scrolling. So when you're watching like 30-minute YouTube videos, then that is really really good. Like when you finish one 30-minute YouTube video, then it doesn't really feel like you're walking for 30 minutes straight. It's just like you watching on your phone for 30 minutes straight. So yeah, that is what I usually do, or what I usually like implement when I start doing my 10K steps every single day, so that it doesn't get boring or I don't get frustrated when I don't reach my goal in a certain amount of time. Because when I also first started, I usually like say to myself like after 10 minutes I should reach 2,500 steps, which is really really disappointing when you don't reach that goal. So I recommend you set a 15-minute timer, or maybe a 30-minute timer, and just walk around, and after that time, or after that time expires, see how many steps you took, and then that will surprise you on how many steps you have already completed. Because for me right now, when I time myself for about 30 minutes, I sometimes get surprised that I already did like 4,000 steps or maybe 3,500 steps in just a 30-minute walk. And by watching like YouTube, most YouTube videos that I watch is usually 10 minutes. So after watching like 3 10-minute YouTube videos, it doesn't really feel, or my brain isn't really focusing on the steps anymore. I'm diverting my attention towards the YouTube video and not really me walking around. But I also don't recommend this when you're walking out in public, because you're not paying attention on your environment, and this may cause injury or maybe even accidents if you do this in public. So as much as possible, do this in a private place, or a place that isn't really prone to accidents, in terms of the second tip that I gave you guys. So yeah, that's it. Distract yourself and don't really focus on the 10,000 steps. Divide it throughout the day. That's pretty much the two things that I do every single day, so that I can complete my 10,000 steps with ease. So other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to this video. I know that this video isn't a vlog, but I sort of wanted to make this video so that I can have a video just to upload, and also so that I can give you guys on some of the things that I do to make my 10,000 steps easier. So other than that, DJ here, aka Hardpork. Peace.